Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris says schools have handled this situation just like the law requires. He ought to know. He co-wrote the Lead in Schools law while in Nashville. And Mayor Harris says parents shouldn't worry. But if any of his children went to one of the affected schools, he said he'd get them tested for lead just out of caution. Local 24 News reporter Mike Matthews continues our routine coverage.
You know what's interesting about this lead being found in some of these Shelby County schools? The man in Nashville who wrote the legislation with several others just happens to be the mayor of Shelby County. Mayor Lee Harris says the Shelby County school system is following the law. A law he helped write while he was in the Tennessee State Senate.
What we found was that there was a major vulnerability at some of our schools, particularly schools built before 1998. After 1998, schools were required to only use construction materials that were lead-free.
The Tennessee General Assembly was interested in getting the lead out after the troubles in Flint, Michigan, where there were extremely high levels of lead found in the water system. It resulted in two laws in Tennessee. One concerned the schools. The first one that was passed concerned homes.
I live in Midtown in a home that's over 100 years old. You get a notice. I get a notice right now from MLG&W about the age of my home and the possibility that there may be some lead contamination.
The Harris law says if lead is found, take the source of the lead out of reach.
If there is a risk of contamination that exceeds the EPA standards of about 20 parts per billion, then the school will be required to take that water out of circulation and then give notice to the local authorities, the state authorities, and also the parents.
Mayor Harris says he's not a scientist or an engineer, but thinks the source of this lead is the plumbing used at the old schools. He doesn't think it's coming from Memphis Light Gas and Water. His bill, by the way, does not require students at those schools to be tested for lead. Mayor Harris says if he was the parent of any child in any of those schools and they drank some of that water, he'd get them tested for lead. In Memphis, Mike Matthews, Local 24 News.